What's happening, guys? My name is Max. We are back for some more BTS today. Looking forward to it. We're going to be checking out their latest acceptance speech at the American Music Awards for Artist of the Year, along with their post VLIVE conversation. Guys, if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button. It's almost the new year. Can you believe it? I can't. So hit that subscribe button because the goal is 50K before the end of the year. Without further ado, let's get into today's video with BTS. Can't wait. Let's go. Jin, my boy.
I seriously forgot what I gotta say.
It's just so cool to see the diversity in their fan base and people getting pumped up for them. Like, these are the guys you want to cheer for. These are the people you want to cheer for. Humble, they work hard, they're open, they're honest, and they're just such good guys. They're just beloved, and I think their star, obviously I'm new to BTS still, but I think their star is still rising.
Thank you, AMAs, and we're truly honored to be on this stage with such amazing, tremendous artists right over here. We're so honored. Thanks for that.
V looks like a private detective in his trench coat / suit jacket there.
Woo! I'm nervous. Yeah, I'm nervous. Yeah, baby. 4 years ago, we gave this first time ever TV live performance.
It's interesting how RM is leaning down the entire time while he's speaking into the mic. So it would have been nice if it was pre-adjusted for him. There's been studies on this. When we're in more dominant positions with our body, we actually feel more confident.
You were like too excited and nervous at the time. And it's been a long and amazing ride since then, but nobody could have ever bet on the odds of us standing here and receiving this award, except y'all, Army, except y'all.
You know how much I love RM. RM is my guy. I mean, there should be a master class on Kim Namjoon's leadership and communication skills. That could be literally a program at university. So I love hearing him speak, and I love how he always brings it back to his fan base. He gets it. He loves them genuinely, and he recognizes that, again, he and the guys wouldn't be anywhere if it wasn't for them. So it's just this mutual respect.
7 boys from Korea, united by love for music. Met the love and support from all the armies all over the world. Would never take this for granted. Thank you so much. Love y'all. Want to give this honor to you guys.
Sensed a little bit of nerves coming from RM. I think it's because he was in front of an American audience. And again, the guy, I feel like, puts so much pressure on himself to succeed, to be at 100%, that, that's going to add to the nerves as well.
All the people. And, okay, pass the mic. Oh, there.
Okay, Suga on the mic. I love it. I love it. We're seeing a different Suga here too. Not just the way he looks, but just the expression on his face. Obviously, these guys are dynamic individuals and there's lots of different sides to them. But we're seeing here, it seems like a real relaxed, in the moment, confident, comfortable Yoongi.
아티스트 오브 이어를 받게 될 줄 정말 몰랐고 다 아미 덕분인 것 같습니다. 감사합니다, 아미!
We just wanted to make people happy with our music. We believe that this awards opens the beginning of our new chapter.
Jungkook's killing it, man. He's killing it. Look at the boys supporting him, Jin and RM touching him, supporting him. Jungkook, man. This guy has impressed me the most lately. I've checked out some of his stuff on my Patreon, and I've noticed, like, recently he's really come into his own skin, where he's just really a star. He's got this different type of soft swagger, right? He's not in your face and explosive and loud, but he's calm, cool, collected.
We learned that each and every moment is precious. So in 2022, we want to focus on Yeah.
That's funny. But man, I just loved his presence there. He was looking around at different parts of the audience, a sign of someone that's comfortable speaking in front of people. Sometimes you'll see people who are really nervous. A lot of the time, they have trouble making eye contact with different parts of their audience, right? They don't want to be seen. You know, he just had a real presence about him, I thought, and something really magnetic about Jungkook.
I'm deeply touched by this award. I so appreciate your love. Thank you, Army. Thank you, Amos. Thank you. We pop
Yeah, V! That's cool. Love that, man. I love that and love seeing V do his thing there. V, I mentioned this about V a couple weeks ago, that V is just raw. You know what I mean? He's unfiltered. He's raw. He kind of lives in his head a lot of the time, it feels like V does. But when he's out of his head, he's completely out of his head and he's completely in the moment. Anyhow, good for them. A round of applause for the BTS boys, for the Bangtan boys winning another award, well deserved. The world's catching on to BTS. The world's catching on in a big way. Now what I have lined up is their VLIVE. I guess this is their breakdown after the AMAs.
Focus on. Focus on. Enjoy every moment.
See, now Jungkook's the superstar. He kind of looks like the superstar.
우리 오늘 상 받은 거.
자, 일단 박수 한번 칩시다.
끝나고 긴장이 확 풀려가지고 지금.
사실 오늘 우리 진짜로 3시간 이상 자는 사람 아무도 없잖아요.
진짜
오늘 하루가 되게
And again, there's just a different energy from Suga. He just seems more present. He seems more in the moment here. He just seems more calm and just, you know, happy. Suga seems genuinely happy. Not that he wasn't necessarily happy in some of the other videos that I looked at before, but he was just more, it seemed like, in his head and not as much in the moment.
전날은 이제 새벽 1시 그 스케줄 늦으니까 이제 그냥 새벽 1시쯤에 잤는데 이제 그게 익숙해지는 상황에서 아침 이제 6시쯤 일어났어야 되니까
우리가 좀 스케줄이 또 오후에만 있다가 갑자기 오전 스케줄 들어와 버리니까
Yeah, man, Jungkook's turned into a star. I'm telling you. He's become a star before my eyes. And just the way the guys look at him and listen to him and the way he feels comfortable just sort of leading the group and leading the discussion.
사람들도 너무 크긴 나는데
Keep quiet.
어쨌든
오늘 우리 AMA에 와준 우리 아미 여러분들 때문에
기가 차
그러면 오늘의 건배사 아미를 위하여 한번.
오케이 감사
Focus on Army 하자.
오케이, 좋아.
자 내가 성창해
Focus on Army.
There's a confidence that comes from V because it's just, I feel like he's so real. And it just feels like when V speaks, it's like unfiltered, it's raw. And that's why when he has his presence about him, when he's with you, when he's present, it's like his words hit you like a lightning bolt.
자강성으로 받아주세요.
간만에 아미랑에서 이게 좀
여기 맛있네
말하려다 보니까
You know, just those past 10 seconds looking at V, it's just like he's so doing his thing. He's thinking about his thing. He's in his head. He's not tuned in to what's going on. But then when he decides to speak and get tuned in, he's like right there and he's tuned in and he's listening and he's speaking and he's engaged.
거기서 얘기를 안 해본 사람들은 몰라 항상 이 시청자들 보는 사람들은 모르는데 이게 우리가 얘기를 하면은 한 1, 2초 정도 뒤에 들어오는데 사람들이 이거를 모르거든.
그래서 이제 사람들이 제가 왜 저러나 싶으면 이제
Jimin especially, he's always showing signs that he's actively listening to the guys and to anyone really that I've seen him around. He just really listens to you. They know that he has their back and that's a gift.
내가 말하는데 이게 내 귀로 안 들어오고 1초 뒤에 들어와가지고 그 방송 앵콜이나 막 이런 것도 다 그래가지고 밀리고 헷갈리고 막 이래가지고 이게
I love when Jin gets going too. When Jin gets excited, man. He's just fun. He's a fun guy. Obviously, I've seen a deeper side to Jin too that made me appreciate him on a whole new level.
사람들이 하이파이브 하니까 신기하더라. 이렇게 하는데 이거 해도 되는 건가? 해도 되나? 이러면
나 유니버스 때 그냥 막 이렇게 생각도 안 했어. 거리두기 해야 되는 거 아니야? 박수 해도 되나? 내가 이렇게
마스크를 안 쓰고 있지 않으면서.
You know, I wonder if they just sort of brush over the surface of certain subjects because they know they're being filmed, and I wonder how much more depth they get into behind the scenes. You know, these guys are smart. Their management's probably really smart. They're really smart. You know, they know exactly what they can and what they can't say.
무서워서 그러는데 오늘은 기뻐서 시즌을 올 수 있을 정도로 4년 사이에 많은 일이 성장했어요 우리.
이제 1대랑 짜놨으면 좋은 거.
옛날에는 진짜 이런 거 짠할 때 했는데 이제는 뭐 그냥
나이 들어요.
예.
Suga being one of the main guys that I've noticed who takes the lead in being vulnerable and opening up and talking about his emotions. Like he just says it like he's spitting out the facts. Like 2 + 2 = 4. Also, I cried today. It's just so normal amongst these guys to talk about their feelings and get vulnerable with each other.
BTS Army Forever!
야, 이 애기들아.
아니 이기고 지고가 뭐가 중요해?
Yeah, I mean, these guys, obviously, I've commented on this a lot, but like they're family, they're brothers. You can tell how comfortable they are with each other. Like it just feels like a very normal family conversation. There's just chit-chatting, probably very similar to how they'd speak off camera. Feels like we're kind of like voyeurs in that way. You know, they know the camera's there, but it doesn't feel like they know the camera's there.
보통 한국 좀 이렇게 힘내서 하면 좀 힘들잖아요. 함성 있으면
걔는 괜찮더라.
하나도 안 힘들어. 확실히 그게 있는 것 같아.
확실히 그 에너지가
아 맞아.
오랜만에 함성을 들으니까 일단 약간 좀 기분이 이상하더라.
진짜 어떡하지? 나 너무 나 이렇게 자면 설레서 잠 못 자겠다.
You hear Jungkook saying he was too excited to go to sleep because of the concert tomorrow? That just shows me, man, Jungkook's a real performer. He's just got this cool, quieter confidence about him. He'll look at you in the eye. He knows how to smile at the camera. And I think that's just a part of him loving being on stage and loving performing. Even here, man, he's carrying himself like a star with his shades on and just got a whole lot of confidence about him, Jungkook does.
너 오늘 자는지 안 자는지 잘 볼 거야.
아니 콘서트 전에.
오케이.
You know, just a little thing I noticed from J-Hope when Jungkook said that he wasn't going to be able to sleep tonight. J-Hope repeated the question and said, "You're not going to be able to sleep tonight?" I'll notice he'll look to further engage some of the other guys. And the way he does that is he'll ask them a follow-up question or what I'll call a confirmation question as a way of sort of like just engaging and showing interest in what they're saying a little bit more. Like J-Hope's got some real people skills in that way, some real connecting skills in that way.
해리 콘서트가 그 옆에서
그 위로 지나가더라고.
그래? 진짜 해리
해리 공연이 그 옆이었어.
공항은 약간 기뻐가.
Harry Styles?
진짜 이쁘더라고. 근데 그게 야외야.
야뭐 우리 무언가 뭐 사람들이 궁금해할 만한 얘기가 있나?
See, there you go. Like they're chit-chatting for the first 13 minutes here or so, and RM, the guy who's just always seeming to be super aware of his audience, bringing it back to the audience.
야뭐 우리 무언가 뭐 사람들이 궁금해할 만한 얘기가 있나?
It's like he's always thinking about everyone, isn't he, RM? He's always thinking about the guys. He's always thinking about the fans. I wonder if he thinks about himself as much as he thinks about everyone else.
남준 이야기할 때 태영이랑 정국이 보고 있었고 막 보고 있는데
정국이야,
정국이 하고 있는데 태영이 보고 있는데 얘가 안 들어오잖아. 나도 해야 되는데.
아니 이게 정국이가 하면서 거의 초반부터 랩비럽이 떴어요. 그래서 랩비럽이 뭐냐면 이제 정리해라.
그러니까 형이 너무 길게 했어요.
I didn't think it was that long, but that's funny. It's funny. I mentioned this about V. He's not afraid to call you out. You heard what V said before. He said, your speech was a little too long. And V, not afraid to go there, which you have to appreciate, right? You know you're getting a real opinion from V.
액팅도 좀 할라 했어요.
어떻게?
그러니까 I am deeply touched by this world.
제스처를 하려고 했다가 저희 공사 한번 해봐.
I'm deeply 뭐
I am deeply
얘도 까먹은 거 같은데.
touched by this world. 그래서
But again, that's not really V to act. Like when he's putting on a show in that moment, it almost comes across as humorous because it's so not him to do that, it feels like, because he's so real and authentic, that when he does say, okay, I'm gonna perform and act, it comes out as kind of funny, right? Because that's just not who he is. Like,
여러분 1200만 정도
좋은 경험이었어요.
되게 즐겁고 행복하고 정신없는 그런 하루였습니다.
니키존도 블락 공연하는데
맞아, 재밌더라. Step by step.
어우 씨.
나 공연 알았어 진짜 말았지.
but it's interesting watching V, right? Like, V doesn't really often look at you, it doesn't seem like, when he's listening. Sometimes he will. He'll kind of give you like a glance like that. But a lot of the time he's kind of looking down like this. He's either having like the most fun in the world, or he's the guy it seems like he's having the least amount of fun. You know, that's what his body language is telling me, at least.
우리가
일어나는 타이밍이 아니지. 일어나야 될거
야,
아니야.
하나 둘 셋 같이 가자. 하나 둘 왜 아무도 안 일어나? 하나 둘 셋 일어나면 하나 둘 셋.
나랑 일어나는 게 망설이는 게 항상 그 뒤에 사람들 때문에. 그러니까 나도.
맞아.
뭐야 왜 일어나 있어? 그러고 눈치 상. 괜찮아요. 오늘 말씀 많이 안 하셨어요.
Someone just called out Jimin, saying, are you okay? You're not talking much today, which I noticed before. Who said that?
괜찮아요. 오늘 말씀 많이 안 하셨어요.
Of course it's RM who noticed. RM notices everyone.
돈이 많이 깔았어 지금 밑으로.
아까 잠시 긴장해가지고 긴장 풀려가지고 배가 잠시 고팠어.
끝나니까 긴장 확 풀려.
하네. 당연히 보고 하니까.
이게 그게 큰 거 같아. 이게 뭐 시상식이고 이런 것도 너무 중요했고.
Just seeing Suga kind of rub Jimin's back there. Suga, in that moment, I was like, man, he's like the big brother to these guys in a way. He's got this real depth and maturity to him. And the more I see Suga, the more dynamic of an individual I realize he is. You know, from his philosophical side to his empathetic side. He's got his fun side too, and he can be really present with you. And what a well-rounded guy our boy Yoongi is.
그렇다고도 하고.
왜냐면 사람들이 없으면
그게 작년 1월 작년 재작년이에요.
Jimin, I'm just looking at Jimin. I know all the guys are talking. I haven't been reading what they're saying, but Jimin, he looks a little sad, you know? He looks a little down. Maybe he's just beat, he's tired, exhausted, but you know, he does look a little down in this moment here. You know, but he's trying. He's always trying to be present. He's always trying to listen.
근데 이걸 우리가 아직도 안 보이는데 껐다 키는 게 맞아요.
따로 와이파이
따로 올려드릴게요. 죄송해요. 지금
이게 다시 해도 터질 것 같아.
와이파이가 좀 이렇게 뭘 하나.
아니, 와이파이 문제가 아니라 그냥 서버 자체 터진 거.
왜냐하면 들어가기.
I love hearing them talk about like real world stuff. You know, I love hearing them talk about even things like COVID, Wi-Fi, like all these little things that we experience as well on a day-to-day basis, right? That's all stuff we can relate to. And in a weird way, it only makes us feel more connected to them.
이랑 나랑 제이홉은 미국에서 많이 사랑하잖아.
그럼 당연하지.
나머지는
나머지는 사랑 둘해도 되는.
맞아, 나머지 들어야 돼, 사람.
나중에 알게 될 것 같구나.
그래. 우리 셋은 더 사랑한다니까.
너희들은 워낙 사랑하고.
그치.
우리는 이제 우린 불타오르잖아.
그치.
Is that like kind of like an inside joke with the guys that like they have to say that they love their company? Is there like an internal competition about who loves the company more?
자, 아무튼.
나중에 얘기해줄게, 나중에.
그냥 농담이야. 농담이야.
Just kidding.
뭐야? 아무튼 정말 오늘 맛보기로.
Right, the most part they've been talking amongst themselves. They've just been having sort of a normal discussion, but from time to time you'll see RM sort of address the actual audience because he knows the cameras are still on. Let's move on. Let's still talk about some stuff that the fans might want to hear.
이제 바이브로 알아듣는 거지. 바이브로.
그리고 내가 가면
바이브로 알아듣는
뭐 이런 느낌이지. 땡큐 러비하면 하는 거랑 같은 거.
모두가 또 다 할 수 없으니까.
It's true, vibe. Suga's saying they understand the vibe, they get it. You didn't have to speak perfectly. But it's true, right? A lot of the time it's just your presence, it's your tone. We talk a lot on this channel about body language, about tone. The majority of communication, according to the communication formula, about 93% of communication is made up of our body language and our tone. So when Suga says they get the vibe, I think that's part of what he means. They don't really need to understand every single word. But if you have a certain presence about you and a certain tone in your voice, that's what people are picking up on.
밥 먹으면 이제 요만큼 먹으면 마셨는데 잘 어울린다. 네, 약간 지금 피곤해서 그래. 아, 그런가?
아니 우리가 오늘 아침에 6시부터 일어났잖아.
너무 오랜만에 공연도 하고 그래가지고.
근데 너무 좋다. 너무 좋다.
네. 좋냐? 아무튼 뭐
저기다.
마지막으로 하신 말.
Wow, again, I noticed J-Hope did that again. Someone said something, I think it was Jungkook, said, I love it. And then J-Hope again said, love it? Right? So I have noticed that. Maybe that's a pattern that I'm picking up on with J-Hope, is that when someone says something, he almost like looks to validate and confirm what it is that they're feeling or what it is that they've said, just as like a little bit of a way to joke around and connect with that person.
그래미도 한번 노려볼 만한가요? 그 이제 24일날 이제 저희가 이제 노미네이트를 시켜본 거잖아요. 우리 다 같이 모여서 보자.
That would be really cool. A Grammy would be incredible.
진짜 보고 싶었습니다.
그래요.
진짜 이거는 진심입니다.
그거예요, 그거.
진짜요. 그 얘기하고 싶었고.
I love you.
저 카메라 뒤에 1,500만 명이 있다고 생각해도
그리고
너무 보고 싶었어요 정말.
특히나
대단한 거 말할 줄 알았어. 나는 뭐 어메이징한 거 말할 줄 알았어.
난 진짜 그렇게 생각.
아니 뭐 그런 것도 재밌었어.
호응이나 우리
Yeah, J-Hope does that. Like, he gets real personal with you. Like, he does kind of make it a point to have those just like little small engagements with different guys in the group. But it's individually, it's not as a group. It's like one at a time. He kind of just engages you. And he just engaged RM there. He's like, I thought you were going to get really into it there. You know, that just, to me, shows J-Hope's personability, his ability to connect and be personal and form those deeper relationships. Although those were just little things there, you know, it's just something he does to connect with the guys.
저희가 오랜만에 약간 대명공원에서 살짝 얼탄 게 있었지만 이번에 막 봤으니까 콘서트 때는 바로 그냥 바로 그냥 그러면 계단 한번 타? 다들 진짜 포커스 on 보여드려줘. on. 계단 한번 타서
I just saw a glimpse of RM getting goofy there. He's like, ha. I feel like he's got a goofy side that I haven't really seen a lot of. I'd love to see his goofy side, but he's so involved in like being the leader and being aware of everyone and everything that it's probably harder to come out as much as some of the other guys. But I'd like to see a goofy RM because I feel like he's got that side of him like deep down. And that's probably when he's at like his happiest, when he can just be a goofy kid. You know what I mean?
first on이 뭐예요?
집중.
뭐뭐에다가 초점을
okay.
See, now like V's really involved in the conversation. He's there. Look at his body language shift. Elbows are on the table. He's looking. He's listening. Like you can tell when he's present and you can tell when he's not present.
마지막으로 그냥 짠 하면서 끝내주죠.
윤기현도 나는 거 나는
자,
나 뭔가
뭐 할까? 아까 뭐였지?
Suga really, it feels like he's like come into his own. It feels like he's just more present with the guys. That's what it seems like. He just seems happier, doesn't he? And RM, you know, just at the end there, he can turn on that positivity and turn on that like energetic side of him too.
막 짱이니까.
형 많이 먹었어. 우리보다 많이 먹었어.
한줄다 먹었지?
나 여기 있어.
오케이. 자, 의미상. 자, 뭐 포커스하고 콘서트 합시다.
오케이.
Jungkook, man, doesn't he look like a superstar? He's sitting at the head of the table. He's got his shades on. He's got good posture. It looks like he feels like he's the man. It looks like he knows he's the man. That's the way he sits. That's the way he carries himself. And not in an arrogant way. That's who he is, man. He's a star.
Focus on
아미 축하해요.
오빠요.
팬 오브 더
See you
이어.
soon.
우리 상관없네.
Later.
Wicked. That's the boys. What's next from here, right? What's next from here? There's press conferences I want to check out. There's other award ceremonies I want to check out. There's behind the scenes stuff I want to check out. And guys, if you want to watch the uncut version of this reaction, all you need to do is click on my Patreon link below. I've also got a ton of live performance reactions to BTS on my Patreon, as well as all my uncut BTS and other non-BTS videos all live on my Patreon. So if you want to check out all the stuff that I put out, you can do that. Other than that, I appreciate you tuning in. Thank you so much. My name is Max. Peace.